question is, how do you move forward when the issue seems bigger than your purpose? And I say it seems bigger than your purpose. One of the first things that you do is you ask someone you trust, am I ready for this task? Am I ready for this that I see in my heart that I feel belongs to me? And what happens if they tell you, no, you're not ready? You're too young. You're too old. You don't have the right skill set. You don't have what you need to make this work in your life. So one thing you have to remember is that the road forward is always unknown. And when someone shares something with you, they're sharing with you based on a love for you. They're sharing with you based on what they know and their experiences. But they're waiting for an opportunity for you to bubble up inside and do whatever it is that you need to do. So how do you get ready for your purpose? One thing to remember is that everyone that's born has a purpose. God has a purpose for each and every one of us. So the first thing that I suggest is that you look back. I know we've heard many times, don't look back, you're not going that way. Don't look back, it'll mess with your trip going forward. But I always say when you look back, it defines who you are. It talks about your experiences. It talks about what you've learned. It talks about the people that you trust. It talks about all the stories. And one purpose has many stories. So it talks about all the stories that have come together to make you who you are. So you have to take a look back to know where you're going. My passion, my purpose is the foster care system. I grew up in that system. I know that system. My siblings entered the system. And there are 500,000 children a year that enter that system, ages 0 to 18. So I know that system. But on this side, I'm able to look back and understand some of the things that happened in our life. I'm able to look back and understand the why. But I'm also able to look back and understand the why not. Why can't we fix this system? Why is it that we have to have children go in, separated from their families, and not really understanding how to look back and find their families and their purpose? So I'm all about taking a look back to make sure that my future is set. When you take a look back, that's how you find your voice. That's the voice inside of you that tells you, this is exactly for me. You know, I don't know how many of you have been around a 2-year-old that's determined to get something done, and you take a look at them and you tell them no, and then they stand flat-footed and tell you yes. That tells me that at any age you have a pretty good idea as to what it is you want to do and what you think your life should be. And then you go from 2 to 3 to 4, and you see all these different experiences, and you hear all these different stories, and you think, I can do that. I want to do that. So you have to look for a support network to make sure that when you go out to do something, that it works for you. So one of the things that I tell people is to limit your distractions. When you're trying to go forward, you have to limit your distractions. I'm a doer, and people can find a doer anywhere in the room. I know a lot of you are doers. I'm looking at this amazing program, and I know there are a lot of young people that are doing a lot of things. But when somebody drops a task in your lap and they want you to do it, you have to ask questions. You have to ask them, what exactly is it that you want me to do in your scenario? Because a passion project and a business project that's being presented to you is important to the person that's presenting it to you. I have 3 questions that I ask when I'm asked to do something, because I'm a doer, and I always want to know. So I ask them, what part of that project can I do? If there's one thing that I can do, can you please tell me what that is? The other thing I ask them is, send me a 2-page write-up and let me know on paper what you want me to do. And in most cases, years later, I still don't have the write-up. And I can bump into somebody and they go, oh my God, I owe you a write-up. I'm like, no, we're good. You don't owe me a write-up. But then I know for sure that the task was for me to do, for me to jump on and to get done. But I can't do every task that comes to me, so always limit your distractions so that you'll know exactly what's cut out for you. The other thing to think about in the middle of all of this busyness is to meditate and pray. I always ask God, what is it that you want me to do? The life that you've given me was not the life that I've chosen or the one that I would have asked for. So I need to know in my quiet time, What is it that I'm supposed to do in any situation? And it also helps you rebalance. It helps you look back and understand what it is that brought you to the situation. Because the whole thing about life and progressing and moving forward is something brought you to the position that you're in now. And you have to use that energy to go forward. And the only way you can get that energy is to invest in yourself, to go back, take a look, no matter what your age is, no matter what your circumstance is. Quiet time is something that only you and God is fully aware of. Whether you meditate in silence or whether you pray, just always make sure that you find something in your busyness, in your scenario, that brings you back to what your purpose is. And please remember that one purpose has many stories. So you look for help in your arena. And let me explain what the arena concept is. Many of you have been to football games. My son played NFL football, played college football. I spent a lot of time in arenas. I have seen some crazy stuff happen in arenas. And I've seen some nice stuff happen in arenas and some not so nice stuff. But I got to thinking, I spent my life figuring out what circle I wanted to be in and what circle could provide to me what I needed. And then just out of the blue, I thought, I need an arena. I need different stories. I need different people. I need different outlooks. I need people that don't agree with me. Because I have friends. I'll say, I have a great idea. Let's go get it done. And they'll stop and go, well, that's a crazy idea, Gigi. What time are we leaving? So I don't need my circle to be people that think exactly like I do. I want people to confront my ideas. Help me research my ideas. Help me reach out with my ideas. Help me get to a point to where I can talk about all the things that I need to do and have all these different opinions. So you want to use your arena. You want to use their experiences. You want to use their stories. You want to understand that people have gone before you. They've done it before. They understand it. They may be older than you. They may be younger than you. You never know what someone's passion is until you ask, what, why, when, and where? How can we get this done? Where are we going to do this? How are we going to do it? Do we need anybody else besides the two of us? Because even though it's your idea and it's bubbling up in you, you still need that arena and that team and that support mechanism, whether it be your family, your friends, someone from the outside. So don't be afraid to expand your circles. Get into an arena. Find out who's like you, find out who's different, and really understand what people are telling you. Because it'll help you down the road when you look back at your purpose and you're building all the stories around that purpose. So work your plan into your daily living. One of the issues that I have come across is I get a task, I'm so focused on it, and someone comes in and interrupts me. Someone I love, someone I want to keep, and I think, I'm working so hard. Don't they see how hard I'm working to get this done? And then they have the nerve to interrupt me. And then I had to decide, do I want to keep them? That's the first question you ask when you start running people away that's trying to help you. And if you want to keep the person and the situation, you have to bring it into your life. You have to make it a part of the plan or the issue that you're trying to address. You have to look up and go, okay, I love my family, so I know that anything that I do, I need to incorporate my family into that. I need to make sure that my children have a part in what I do. I need to make sure that my grandchildren are part of my plan, and that in my mind, I know when I get a text from my granddaughters, they're twins, and they're on their way doing something, that they're trying to get a response back from me. 2 seconds, emoji, I love you. Just anything that I can do to make sure that they know that whatever it is that I am doing, that they're important in my plan, and I want them to be a part of my life. And I want to make sure that in my plan that I incorporate all that. So if you're working on your business, and I know some of you are starting businesses, and you're in school, and you have homework, then you have to incorporate the homework, not make it a sidebar. Because you rarely go over and click on the sidebar unless you just have to. But if it's part of what you're thinking, and it's part of what you want to be as part of your life, then you incorporate it. You get up in the morning, you think about the people in your life, you think about how important it is, and then you think about the fun things. I like to travel. I love to play golf. So I know that I have 4 hours to go out and play golf. 5 if I'm hunting for balls. 4 if I'm good and it's a good day. So I go out, I play my golf, I play my round, and then I come back home because I've scheduled in my business day that this is going to help me meditate, pray, and become focused on what it is I need to do. So I incorporate my business into my life and into my plan. Never a sidebar unless you don't want to keep it. So make sure that you're well-rounded in your thinking. The other thing is keep working on you. You are the most important person in your life. You're the person that when things start getting tough, you may have to support the family, you may have to support the network, you may have to do a whole lot of things on some very narrow shoulders. But if you take care of yourself and you take time to breathe, like I was telling someone, I take naps. When something comes to me that's stressful and there's a lot of stuff going on, I lay down and take a nap. Now, I've been asked, this is a crisis, why are you napping? It's like, I'm napping because this is a crisis. And I can assure you, in the 5, 10, 15 minutes that I wake up, it will still be a crisis. But I'm better when I'm together. When I am together, I'm much better. I'm more efficient, I'm more process-oriented, I'm more focused, and as I said, I'm a doer. So I'm going to do what I need to do to solve the issue. I'm going to realize that every story that comes into my life is working on my purpose. Every story that comes into my life that I write is working on my process. And when I look at my family and I think every one of them is important to me, so I work them in. And they understand that I'm going to nap first, and then I'm going to get up and get dressed and be ready to go. Because I'll tell somebody, if my shoes are laced, I'm ready to go. If my shoes are not laced, I'm ready to nap. So that's the process of making sure that I take care of myself as I do everything that I need to do. And as you go forward, please remember to look back and see how you became who you are so that you'll have that center and you'll understand going back to your life why you're this person. Why is this important to you? The foster care system is important to me because I know it's broken. I know that I was in it, and I know that I was in it 50 years ago, and I still hear the same stories that I lived 50 years ago. So that's my passion. Does it mean that I can't help my friends as having a concert fundraiser? I'm a ticket buyer. I can buy a ticket. I can pretend. I can participate. I can go to plays. I can do all these things that are fun to me, but I will definitely make sure that my stories and my passion line up, and that happens no matter what age you are. And this is something I want you to keep in mind. You can't stop the person who never gives up on their purpose, because one purpose has many stories. So build your stories now so that you can share it with your children and your family. Thank you.